Hi, this is episode number 90 of the Silverfox Hustle podcast. And if you don't already know, follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. We are everywhere, so subscribe. And this episode, by the way, is brought to you by Alpha Equips, a sporting brand in Singapore that provides quality and affordable sporting and lifestyle products for all ages. So please check them out. They are out on IG as well. So if you need to order something from them, please go and do so. Now, this episode or this podcast is all about inspiring people. And today in the office or in the house is two inspiring people, two inspiring guests, as well as they come from a very inspiring organization as well, and that organization is called Tasek Academy and Social Services. And here in the studios is Mr. Sufri Ramli. He started off as a volunteer in 2021, and now he is the lead manager and director for the Tasek Group, and he's also at the moment pursuing a part-time PhD in positive youth development. Welcome to the podcast, Mr. Sufri, and not forgetting Mr. Aidil, our friend. He's a very experienced youth coach. He's been around, and if you look him up, you know he's been around. He's an absolutely brilliant person. He had stints in the Middle East as well, and clubs here in Singapore. So welcome to the podcast, gentlemen, Mr. Aidil and Sufri.
Thank you so much, Shasi. Thank you so much for having us here. I think Aidil and I, we've been talking about you for quite a bit. And
talking about me.
you and the podcast
Right,
as well.
right.
Yeah, and I think we learned a lot through the podcast. Yeah, thank you so much. Finally, I'm able to be here on the hot seat.
Great. Thanks, man. Now, before we go, a little bit of a warm-up session, right? You are now a proud father of a little...
Yes, finally.
Girl,
Dream come
boy?
true.
Girl, yeah.
Nur Zahira. Shout out to Nur Zahira. Yes.
And how has it been? Keeping you up at night, late night?
Yes. I mean, lately especially. So previously, she's 4 months old.
Okay.
So for the past couple of months, she has been having a good sleep. Like from 9 p.m. all the way to 7 a.m.
Right.
But now lately, she's been trying to wake up every now and then, every night. I guess she wants more attention.
Right. It's a beautiful age, by the way, and you will enjoy it. Aidil, you've been busy, obviously, with the team as well. How has it been so far?
It's been great because for us, Tasek, this is the first time we engaging in the big tournament, SYL, and we're sending almost about 5 teams. And like I say, it's not just about football.
Right.
There's a lot of things that we need to coach and teach them.
Nice. Before we move on, right, this the Tasek Academy and Social Services is a non-profit organization that aims to uplift individuals and families in vulnerable or disadvantaged situations, right? Before we come to that and stuff like that, now let's talk about your journey a little bit, Sufri. You growing up, and I also saw a clip where you had kind of like a life-changing moment when you were at 16 or something like. Tell us the story, man.
Okay, I guess growing up, just very normal family background.
Right.
My father, late father, was working in construction site actually. So he kind of managed the migrant workers there.
Okay.
So I fondly remembered primary 1, primary 2. He would actually bring me over to his construction site.
Nice.
Usually, if kids get to their parents' office, it'll be quite a unique experience. But for me, the office is essentially the crane. So I remember climbing up to that small office, which is actually a crane.
Right,
At the point of time, we didn't know how dangerous it was.
Okay.
But for me, it was so exciting to climb. And then when you look down, you see all the migrant workers, they smiling sheepishly.
Yeah.
I guess they were also afraid of my safety.
Right.
But yeah, that was a very cool experience. I think one thing that really struck me was that the migrant workers, even though they speak limited English, they were very happy to, just speak to me, say hi, how are you and all.
Right.
And that really, to me, is something unique about how being kind and being nice can go a long way.
Right.
So that's something that I hold to me.
Beautiful.
Talking about that, definitely I'm close to my dad. Just unfortunate at 16, when I was 16 years old, he passed away due to a heart condition.
Okay.
Yeah, so then I kind of like lost my way a bit.
Okay.
I was already playing a lot of football.
Okay.
At the void deck, play what you call that, block catching.
Okay.
Those things back then.
Okay.
So
Aidil will know that.
block catching,
Yeah.
Yeah. So him passing away really got me even more distracted lah. Not very focused in studies.
You were O levels then, or what was
O levels?
O levels, yeah.
Yeah, so didn't really do well for my O levels. Then went to poly, fortunately, but also wasn't really focused. Then during my time, laptop was the new thing. So you know lah, we will bring laptop
Right.
to the lecture theatre, but
Right.
instead of studying, that time was Counter-Strike, Dota.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So after one sem, I decided to just drop out.
Okay.
The unique thing was that my mother didn't know that I dropped out until a few months later. When she realized, how come this boy is always at home, in the room?
Okay.
Yeah. So then that's when the turning point came lah. I realized that actually I needed some structure in my life.
Okay.
Luckily, I could still enroll to Millennium Institute to do 3-year A-level lah.
I see.
So that provided me a bit of structure and footing. Yeah.
Beautiful, man. And Aidil, you when you were growing up, did you face any challenges? You know, even see friends or family in disadvantaged positions as well? Because right now you are in a position where you're helping them out, right?
Yeah.
But growing up, were you in that, or did you see things like that happening?
I mean, we were those born in 1970s or 80s, right? Those 90s season, yeah. Those years of 90s, it's all about freedom. It's all about everything, man. Drugs, secret societies, gang fights.
Yep.
You know, everything was there. Was the most happening time. And then it's just, I mean, I'm just being lucky because all of my friends are in that line.
Okay.
You know, in the gangs and the drugs and everything, and most of my friends are inside. So eventually one day I just decided that, look, I just want to focus on my football because I feel I can do better in football,
Right.
rather than, you know, doing nothing, just chilling and everything. So I'm lucky enough to have a supportive parents and even close friends who are, although they are involved in all these negative things. And then I just realized that we learn from the streets, we learn from the, you know, problems that we face and everything. And we learn from each other, especially friends around.
Right.
So from there, I decided, like, look, when we go NS, I just said that, look, I need to be disciplined myself. That's why I think my first starting point was I signed off as a regular, as a PTI in the army.
Okay.
So just to be disciplined.
Right.
Because again, when I go out from the army, right, I will meet all my friends again.
Right.
And I can see them. Even one of my close friends was supposed to be sentenced to death. But because of brotherhood, right, so we helped to find money to get him a lawyer. And fortunately that because we got him a lawyer, then we saved him from the gallows lah.
Wow.
So he was sentenced for 27 years and 24 strokes.
Wow.
So I met him after he came out. I mean, it's a beautiful thing to see him. And that's where the point was. When this thing happened, I just felt that, look, I was a naughty boy before.
Yeah.
I just feel that I need to give back to the society.
Nice.
Yeah, so it just falls nicely lah.
Brilliant,
Yeah.
man. And I remember those guys who were born in the 70s, right?
Yeah.
Me included, and there were a lot of things happening
course,
then.
of
You know,
course.
it's a lot, right? It's a lot, and it's a wonderful situation where now you are back in a position where you can give back and trying to help those people whom probably you were in that situation before as well. Nice. Now, Sufri, your background. As a teacher from NIE, right? So currently you are actually a primary school teacher. You got seconded, right?
That's right.
Right. So
Yep.
you are, let me say this, you are always surrounded with kids, by kids,
That's right.
youth.
Yep.
Has that helped you in your work now with Tasek?
I think definitely. I think one of the reasons why I decided to join Tasek as a full-time staff, it's also because of my student back then when I was in teaching in primary school. So he was considered the most notorious in my school lah. You know, he will always be in the principal office.
Yeah.
I remember one incident when the principal also had enough of him. It was during the examination period,
Okay.
P6,
Okay.
mid-year exam.
Right.
So what he did was that he had a friend who went to the toilet. So he decided to go to the toilet as well. And then what he did was he locked his friend the door because the friend was in the cubicle and then he locked. He didn't want to release his friend. So that really got my principal very right up.
Yeah.
And though he wasn't in my class, subject class, but I was his actually football CCA teacher.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got to know him better, connected with him through football. Though it didn't last long because after that he disappeared for a good 4-5 months,
Okay.
and then reappeared again
Right.
when PSLE was around the
Right.
corner lah. But that was the moment when decided to actually bring him to Tasek.
Okay.
And I think now he's already 15, so that was a good 15 minus 12, 3 years journey with him, and we are continuing the journey lah. There's a lot of ups and downs, but I realized at the end of the day, just like myself back then, if I had a mentor or an adult figure to journey with me, probably, I mean, unfortunate, to be in this position where, life has been quite okay. But for some of them, they probably needed a mentor, a positive role model much earlier in their life.
Nice.
And that's something that I always hold strongly lah.
It seems like it's a calling for you, isn't it? Like something like that. Do you think like that as well, Aidil? Do you think that sometimes you wonder sometimes, right? When you're having a cup of coffee, or
I mean,
you thinking?
again, we have a conversation every week. Sometimes I ask Sufri, hey, why I become a coach? Why I don't become something else, or why don't I never continue in the army? By the end of the day, we share our journey, right? It's just a circle where we gone through that stage where so-called we are the bad boys, or we have a bad attitude, bad character. But we've been given a chance to be better, even without anyone telling us.
Right.
So when the moment there is this project came in, right, and then when I met Sufri, and then when he explained to me, I was like, hey, I think it's time for me to give back. Doesn't matter who we are, we just need to share and tell these kids, right? I mean, we go through all that shit, right? We don't lie to a liar. So we will tell you the truth and honesty about things.
Right.
Yeah.
I just want to touch on when you signed up for what, PTI, right?
Yeah.
When we went into the army, I think right now they don't have the PTI anymore, right?
No more. Yeah.
We used to be so afraid of the PTIs, right? Were you one of those fierce ones?
I mean, yes. Because I mean, the moment you finish your course, right, you get to wear the white
Yes,
PTI
the
shirt,
sleeveless ones as well.
the whistle and just tell them to run to the tree and come back. Everybody just listen. You feel like I'm the king.
Yes.
Yeah, by the end of the day, I think my time was the last batch for the PTIs.
Okay, I remember,
So
man.
that's why they seconded there.
Yeah, we were so used to be afraid of them. Now let's get and start talking about Tasek Academy, right, and social services. Tell us, Sufri, what is the organization all about? I think it's a big thing because I was looking at the website and it's huge, man. There's every different departments and stuff. So tell us in a nutshell if you can.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, a lot of people have been asking what's Tasek all
Yes.
about. Actually, just last year, we were called Tasek Jurong.
Okay.
And then we rebranded ourselves as Tasek Academy and Social Services because like
Okay.
you mentioned, we now have a lot of programs. We run completely like an academy with proper structure in place. And previously, when we were still Tasek Jurong, it was very much community-based. For example, when I joined as a volunteer back in 2021, if we talk about football program, community-wise, you'll have kids ranging from maybe 12 years old all the way to 17, 18 years old coming together. And then you just, have them on the pitch and do your form of coaching.
That is football.
Football,
right.
for example.
Okay.
Then over the years, we structured things because we realized that actually for this youth or the kids themselves, actually they all want to do more. They want to achieve more. And that's why structure is important. And when Aidil came on board, we kind of really are more clear that, okay, let's work towards to become a proper academy. But this time around, we really customize it based on the needs of our children and youth who usually, they come from socially disadvantaged background. But in a nutshell, Tasek is essentially a community outfit. We use programs to engage children and youth, even actually the adults who come from challenging background, engage them. And then when they find a bit of competence, a bit of confidence through the engagement in the program, then we provide that wrap around mentoring support. So the mentoring depends on their needs. For some of the youth, they experience like family violence at home. That's where our colleagues, the social workers would come in to do a bit of casework. Whereas for some, maybe they're just not motivated in school. That's where, colleagues like Aidil or myself or other volunteer mentors come in to mentor and journey with them. Yeah, essentially, that's what Tasek is all about. Very ground up. Yeah.
This is huge, man. This is huge. And again, from a layman's perspective, if I'm on the outside and I'm seeing Tasek, social services and what, right? I wouldn't know what it is all about. And it's very good that you guys are here to actually share and create that awareness as well, because without you guys, it's a very difficult thing as well. And how many people are we talking about? As in, how many people are you mentoring at the present moment? Do you have a number off your head?
Okay. So right now, in terms of being in the program in football alone, we actually have 886
Okay. Wow.
on paper.
Okay.
But of course, the regular ones would be about 50%.
Okay.
And those are what we call the general mentoring, where they come for our program weekly.
Okay.
Besides football, of
Okay.
course, we talk about life, things like that. We
Okay.
try to intentionally embed in the session or before or after the session.
Right.
And then we have what we call the targeted mentoring approach,
Okay.
where the more at-risk ones, we meet them more often, not just on the pitch, but also outside of the pitch. So that will be about like 5 to 10% of the whole 800 lah.
What I'm interested as well, right? Like, how do you approach these kids? How do you go about approaching them to join
Okay.
you guys?
Okay. Organically, what happened is through word of mouth. Actually, our youth, they have a very strong network
Okay.
of friends, not just
Yes,
in their school,
yes,
but outside of
correct.
school. And naturally, they are from the same background, facing the same challenges. So initially, when they come to Tasek, it's like, oh, the so-called the naughty ones from the different schools gather together, and then the street cred is there.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Understand.
I guess one good thing is that once they are on the pitch, I think Aidil can share more. It doesn't matter whether they are the most naughty, but they are all focused with the same goal, and that's how we tap into their motivation.
Right. Aidil, I think I can touch. You can touch on this, right? The mentoring part. How has it been? It's because I'm sure you are mentoring youths and kids with different sets of problems. I'm sure. Some with maybe a family problem. Another one is a different set of problems, right? How do you do this?
I mean, in the end of the day, as a coach, right, we always look what type of players or what type of person that we have in our team.
Right.
It's not just by the book. I'm a coach, you need to listen to me. Because we know their problems. When we know their problems, we try to have that empathy feeling for them and try to be in the line where, look, if you want to play football, play the right way.
Right.
And whatever you do in football is related to whatever you do in life.
Right.
Don't let things makes you angry. Don't let it disappoint you or whatever. In football, it's always about restart. Ball goes out, what should you do? Restart again. And then I always relate it, whatever they do in football, when they go outside, whatever it is, you have to look back and say, look, make a mistake, let's make it a better one. Make it a better day. Every time when you come to the pitch, every time you wake up or whatever it is. So I always talk positive things with them. The main thing is I have to be really patient with them. I have to be, we have to understand them. Because this new generation, right, this word empathy is really important for me.
Yeah.
We need to know them, we need to feel them, we need to understand them.
Right.
But we can't force it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I pick out two things. One is I like that part about the restarting thing because football is lots of restarts, right? Stop and starts, right? And when you connect that to life as well. When people make a mistake, you restart again, or you try to at least try to make it better. It's a wonderful thing. And patience. I think the second part that I picked out as well, I know as well because I'm teaching and coaching as well. And I know that part. It can be difficult. The patience part. It can be difficult. So it's a wonderful thing. Tell us, how has it been for the okay, but before that, let me ask you guys, right? Because I think there's lots of focus on football as well. Because you're a football coach anyway, right? But there's a lot of focus on the football. Why is that so? Is there a reason behind that?
Okay. So we use this positive youth development approach or the strength-based approach. We realize that a lot of our youth, in terms of where they get their self-worth, their self-esteem, is through football.
Okay.
It's not through their studies, it's not through their families and all that.
Right.
So the first way to actually engage or to get their buy-in is through football.
Okay.
And hence why we really drive deep down through football.
Okay.
Now we have even different subgroups, for example, the competitive, the developmental, different pathways, trying to link up with different professional clubs, even different competitions. So that at the end of the day, they feel competent through football.
Right.
That helps with their self-esteem. And then from there, we do the wrap around mentoring support.
Right.
So for example, now we have weekly mentoring sessions outside of football where they come in to do a bit of studying and then we talk about their life, things like that. So football, at the end of the day, is really that unifying tool. Yeah.
It's a wonderful strategy, right? Because I think you need to get them in first,
That's right,
and then look at their problems, the different kinds of problems, and I think that's a wonderful strategy, right? Aidil, any problems? I'm sure you faced a lot of problems. Right? What are the kind of challenges? Not problems, okay? I'll take that word problems out. Challenges. What kind of challenges have you faced so far, in terms of coaching, in terms of mentoring, in terms of you've been there for quite a bit, right? So what kind of challenges have you faced?
I mean, to be honest, the kids will always let you down.
Okay.
And then, I mean, we have our principles as coach, right? If you don't listen, you're out.
Okay.
Right? If you don't turn up, you're out.
Right.
But even now, because like I said in the beginning, we need to understand them. We need to feel them. I have a few sessions where I came and traveled all the way from the central to the west to have a sessions, and the whole team never turned up.
Wow.
No, a few times. And then in the end, straight away, I messaged to Sufri and saying that, look, I'm gonna kick these boys out. I need to punish them. But at the end of the day, when I get back home, I need to understand what Tasek is all about. Why I'm here. At the end of the day, I just gonna approach them and say, look, you can do this as much as you want, but at the end of the day, we are here to help you. Like it or not, we are here.
Right.
And whatever problems or whatever you are facing, again, I remind them again, we are here to help you. So I think that's the most important positive character that I need to impart to them, saying that you can make mistakes, you can lie to me or whatever. I'm always here. Tasek will always be here to help you. So in the end of the day, I mean, to be honest, for our first year here, right, I think most of the match commissioner always complain and making noise that our game is supposed to have a team sheet at 7:20, right?
Right.
And half of the team will come 10 minutes before the match.
Right.
Because it started 8 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
So in the end of the day, most of the coaches were asking and say, hey, Aidil, how you handle them? I say, it's okay. As long as they turn up. Rather, if they don't turn up, then I don't know where they are going, what they do. As long as they turn up, it's good enough for me.
Right.
But again, it will go back again to the drawing board, again to mentor them, again to teach them. Because for us, it's not about coaching. There are three values that we need to tell the coach. Coaching, teaching, mentoring. These three must be in part in training session all the time. Because the only problem for us to face is we train once a week.
Right.
So the rest of the days, like what Sufri says, if that boy is really at risk, any of the weekdays or any time if I see him, bang, we get into his life and sit down with him and discuss with him.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. How about you, Sufri? Challenges.
Similar to Aidil, I think a lot of times.
Do you do coaching as well with the team?
I relief coach.
Okay.
And I think that's the most wonderful bit because I miss teaching.
Right.
So when I get to coach,
Right.
I really treasure those moments.
Okay.
Yeah. So similar to Aidil, I think one of the things is that sometimes when we feel that we have a bit of a breakthrough, we have managed to get them to be back on track, right?
Right.
So it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But at Tasek, it's 1 step forward, 2 steps back.
Right. I understand.
Yeah. But I guess that's the beauty of it because sometimes even for us, our turning point might not be now, but it might be 5-6 years down the road.
Yes.
But the work that we do now is so important.
Right.
We might not get the gratification or satisfaction now, but we know that along the way, 5-6 years down the road, that's
Right.
when the impact starts to kick in lah.
Yeah.
So that's why we are always constantly talking, reassuring ourselves, one another that at the end of the day, this work is something meaningful. It's something that not everyone gets to be in this position,
Right.
and we continue to do what we do lah. And we can see some short-term impact already.
Okay.
For example, like Aidil mentioned, at the start of the year, some of the players or some of the teams, you couldn't even get 11 players to be on the pitch at kickoff time.
Yeah.
But now, really, especially the team that made it into Division 1, all 25 players will be there on time. And in fact, our coach demand that they are there not just 1 hour earlier, but 1 hour 45 minutes earlier.
Right.
Bring both sets of kids, bring a hanger as well. The demand, the expectation is there.
Right.
And they all can make it. And these are the more at-risk ones who don't go to school.
Right.
So we see actually, there's already improvement. Yeah.
It's baby steps, isn't it?
Baby steps,
from not
yeah.
coming at all and then slowly but I picked out on something you said just now, right? It's not going to show results maybe tomorrow or next week. Maybe down 6 years down the road or whatever. Even then, you might not see a change in that particular person. Just maybe there's that one person, right? With that in mind, right? Do you ever think sometimes that why am I doing this? that kind of. Because you're never going to see results tomorrow.
Yeah.
maybe even in 5 years' time, and you look back at this guy, maybe he will be touch wood somewhere else, right? So, do you ever feel that way? Because I think it's a very a test of your characters to be in such a situation.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, yeah.
Many times.
Always, always.
Always, yeah.
Always. We worried all the time. And when he don't turn up, you're like, where is he?
Right.
And we straight away, if we can't get him, we message the parents. And even if the parents are not happy or whatever it is, we are always free to engage with them.
Right.
Not just the kid, or the parents and even their circle of friends. So it's important.
And actually most of the time they'll come back.
Yeah, they will come back.
They'll come back.
Somehow, lah.
Somehow, they do come back. Yeah.
Guys, tell us all, right? How can someone who wants to volunteer, sign up in whatever capacity? I don't know. Can be mentoring, can be how do anyone sign up for this?
Yeah, feel free to reach out to me. I mean, either Aidil or myself, or
Right.
even reach out to our social media. We are more than happy to welcome people in different capacities that you mentioned.
Right.
One could be as an adult mentor. I think most of the time our youth want to look up to someone, and usually we appreciate if there are experienced adults out there
Right.
in different fields, because most of our youth, when you ask them what do you want to be when you grow up, or what's your dream, Shashi, maybe make a guess. What would they say? Most of the youth, be it in developmental squad or competitive.
Professional footballer.
Yes, professional footballer. Yeah, but that's also because that's what they are exposed to, and that's what they feel competent in.
Right.
Their perceived competence.
Right.
Yeah, but once we expose them to other
Different
things,
side. Yeah.
yeah, and then they realize, hey, actually, well, why not I try this? For example, now we have our holiday camps.
Right.
During June and December, we have 15 days, 14 night camps.
Wow, 40 nights.
14 nights. Yeah. So some of them realize, hey, actually I want to be an instructor. I want to be a facilitator. I want to be an outdoor adventure. Some want to be teachers, want to be coaches as well. Yeah, so it's really about the exposure, and that's why we welcome any adults who want to volunteer to come in,
Beautiful.
not just in football ways, but also other ways as well.
Nice.
Yeah, just reach out to us. More than happy.
Beautiful. By the way, they are Tasek Academy Social Services. I think you can find them on IG and Facebook and everywhere. They've got a website as well, right? Any last words from you guys? Aidil, maybe we start off with you. I think to the youth maybe of today.
I mean, there's a lot of words, right? We can motivate them, but I think with this current generation, right, I just feel that if today is a bad day, the next day it must be a better day. Don't look back. You just need to keep forward and be positive in life, and things will change. That's all.
Beautiful. Sufri.
I guess for me, I just want to shout out to all the adults out there who have been helping our youth in one way or another. I think it's really about that hard work first, coming from the heart, and then the hard work, HARD. Yeah, I think if every time we do something, it's all coming from our heart, then the youth can see the sincerity, and that means a lot to them actually.
Right.
Yeah. So always remember heart and hard work, but the heart comes first. Yeah.
Beautiful, man. Sufri, Ramli, and Muhammad Aidil, thank you so much for being on the podcast. This is episode
worries, man.
90, and of course, trying to spread the word, trying to spread the love, trying to spread the message to everyone and to the youth of today as well. I think we've been with them as well, and I think there's more that can be done for them, and I think you guys have provided us a superb platform, for them to improve and get on with life, the way it should be. Thank you again so much,
Thank you.
Mr. Sufri, who is the lead manager of Tasek Academy and Social Services, and Aidil, head coach of the Tasek Sailors. Thanks for being here, and good luck for your tournament. It's over now, the SYL. Is it over?
Yeah, finishing soon.
Finishing soon, yeah. This has been episode number 90 of the Silverfox Hustle podcast. I'm your host, Shasi, and again, this episode has been brought to you by Alpha Equips, a Singapore sporting brand that provides quality and affordable sporting and lifestyle products for all ages. So check them out as well. Till the next episode, I see you again. Cheers.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.